The newest DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, being the Indigo Disk, is finally here. But I didn't want to just hop on as soon as the DLC dropped and beat it with my main playthrough team. No, I wanted to do something more challenging. I wanted to beat the Indigo Disk with only shiny Pokemon. Now you, the viewer, might be wondering,
isn't this gonna take ages to do?
no, I'm something of a shiny hunting king. That or shiny sandwiches are incredibly busted. So here's the story of how I beat the Indigo Disk using only shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet. The DLC started with Clavel giving me a call to head back to Naranja Academy to discuss a special opportunity. Once there, we met with Cyrano, the director of Blueberry Academy. He presented an offer to become an exchange student at the Blueberry Academy in the Unova region. Once we accepted, we wasted no time making our way to the academy. There we met Lacey, the daughter of one of the Unovan gym leaders. We did a quick battle, but this is not important because we have not gotten the chance to shiny hunt a team member yet. Once in the terrarium, I decided to explore my options for my first shiny team member. But, as fate would decide, I didn't get to pick that one. Oh, that's a shiny right there. Oh. That's right, a wild shiny Seadra. Welcome to the team, Kaido. Leave a comment to guess what you think my nickname theme is based on. From there, I decided to immediately hunt my next team member because I remembered that all the battles in this DLC were almost exclusively double battles. So I migrated to the coastal biome where I saw Esper, one of my favorite Kalos Pokemon lines. So I popped a psychic sandwich and got hunting, although I specifically wanted a shiny female Esper for the nickname I had in mind. But it wasn't long before this happened. Yay, there's shiny Esper. Yay! Please, 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 please. I'm gonna catch it regardless, but... ah, dang it. Well, I got the shiny, but it wasn't a girl. Time to try again. Not so long after the first Esper, we found this. There's another shiny Esper. Oh, I forgot to save, dang it. Dang it, another one. Well, that doesn't help. Can I please find the right one? Another one. I'm racking up with shiny Espers. Thank you! Finally the right one. Welcome Nami to the team. From there I met back up with Lacey for a class demonstration. Then I went and caught an Alolan Diglett for that, and then I was on my way. I knew that soon some battles were going to be coming up, so I wanted to be extra prepared. So I headed out to shiny hunt Duraludon for its brand new evolution. You see, Duraludon's shiny doesn't change very much, so the easiest way to tell if it is shiny is by looking at the tip of its head. So I made my shiny sandwich, and I was not seeing anything for almost the whole sandwich until the last few minutes when I spotted this. Super! Yeah, Frankie. Welcome Frankie to the team. Some might say he's a little bit super. Now that we have half of our team assembled, it was time to meet back up with Carmine. She challenged us to a battle, which was way more difficult than it needed to be. Our sparkly crew made it out just fine in the end. After the battle, she mentioned to us that Kieran has been acting quite strangely since returning from the land of Kitakami. But we are interrupted by Drayton, a fellow student and member of the BB League Elite Four. He invites us to meet up with him and the others in the league in the cafeteria, where after some discussion, we are invited to join into the league itself and able to challenge the Elite Four and their champion, Kieran. From there, I actually decided to grind up enough BP to purchase the item to evolve Duraludon, the metal alloy. Now it's time to evolve Duraludon into the brand new Pokemon Arcaludon. Wow, Frankie is looking even more super! Then it was about time I tried to progress in the story and attempt the first Elite Four challenge with Crispin. I say attempt because things did not go to plan. The trial itself went fine. We had to gather ingredients to build a super spicy sandwich for Crispin and his Magmortar. After that is when the problem started. I lost to Crispin and I honestly didn't know how I was going to beat him. That was until I remembered a Pokemon that could help me out. So I ventured off to make a rock-type sandwich and hunt a Alolan Geodude. It took a lot of sandwiches and a lot of anime watching to find this one. There we go, finally a shiny. Welcome to the team Eustace Mid. If you know, you know. We evolved him into a Graveler, then I decided to grab my dad's Switch and get our 2 trade evolutions out of the way. But now it was time to head back to Crispin. This battle was still somewhat challenging, but having Golem made it a lot easier, and we were able to win. Then, while I was setting up my next hunt, this happened. Oh, I guess these things just really like to be shiny. These things love me. What the heck? Yep, that's right. Another male Meowstic. What am I going to do with all these? Now it was time to unlock the starters in the polar region for our next shiny hunt. I wanted to shiny hunt a fire starter Pokemon. My vote was either Chimchar or Torchic, but I ended up not finding many Torchic at all. Where's Torchic? So Chimchar it was. With my first sandwich, I was able to find this. That's the shiny! There we go, crit. Boom. Welcome to the team, Luffy. Something tells me he wants to become king of the Pokemon. From there, we went on to do the second of the Elite Four with an almost full team. The trial for this Elite Four member was extra cool. You know, it temporarily granted Koraidon the power to fly, something that you can fully unlock later to use at any time. Once we beat the trial, we went on to fight Amaris and her flying type team. This battle was difficult, especially with the Reuniclus having the move Trick Room. Our team is pretty fast, so that was a hard counter to us. This was another battle where I was cycling between revives and team members. But in the end, we beat another Elite Four member. Off camera, I decided to just grind the BP to unlock another area of starters. Then I decided that Trico would be a great final team member. So I looked around the canyon area to see where it spawned and made the sandwich to start the hunt. After 19 minutes of nothing, I spotted this. There we go, shiny Trico. Look at him, look at that homie. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Welcome to the Team Zoro. Now it is time to wrap up the Elite Four. We went on to the third member, Lacey, and her fairy types. Her trial was a Pokemon quiz, but it was relatively easy. It's gotta be its antenna. Or maybe it's its dogs. It's gotta be its dogs. Oh. Oh, that's weird. Her battle was also fairly easy. Loved seeing the Terra Fairy Excadrill though. It is cool when Pokemon get unique Terra types for these leader battles. Although, the final battle was here. It was finally time to face Drayton, and he is said to be the strongest trainer in the terrarium besides Kieran. His trial involved battling 3 trainers with only Pokemon caught in the terrarium, which wasn't a problem because all of our Pokemon are shinies that were hunted here. The battles were not a problem for our team at all, and we were swiftly able to move on to the battle with Drayton himself. Drayton actually had 3 of the same members as I did, that being Arcaludon, Kingdra, and Sceptile, which kind of led to this funny moment. Kinda awkward, but our team was better because they were shiny. We took them down with ease. Now it was finally time to face off against Kieran, the champion of the BB League. For a battle like this, I think we need a little bit more of a detailed commentary. We started off pretty strong, dealing almost one-hit KO damage to both Politoed and Dragonite, although both targeted Zoro, KOing him. I switched in Eustace, but he lived up to the name mid and died in the first turn he was in. Incineroar comes in for Kieran, and Kaido coming out on our side. Incineroar was taken down with 1 rain-boosted Water Pulse from Kaido, and Politoed is also taken down by Frank. Grimmsnarl and Porygon Z come out, with Porygon Z taking out Kaido with 1 Hyper Beam. Frankie would have one-shot Grimmsnarl with a Flash Cannon, but it had a Focus Sash. Nami comes out to try and finish the Grimmsnarl while Frankie gets terrestrialized, although we were able to take out the Grimmsnarl and the Porygon Z. For his final Pokemon, Kieran sent out the brand new Pokemon Hydrapple, but with a Dragon and Fairy type out in the field, this didn't worry me at all. But then Kieran decided to terrestrialize his Hydrapple into a Fighting type, but a Fairy move from Nami still did quite a bit of damage, leaving room for Frankie to finish the job. For winning, we even got a Master Ball, but after this battle, we get called to meet with Briar in her classroom. We're met with the opportunity to head back into Area 0 with the permission of Geeta in the Pokemon League. Geeta gives us an item called the Indigo Disk, an item that was sent by an old Area 0 researcher, but she said she did not know what it did, but to hold on to it anyway. And now it is time to head back in and find the hidden treasures in Area 0. Get it? That's the name of the DLC. Briar, Carmine, Kieran, and myself headed into Area 0 with the goal of going to the Zero Lab. Once we get down to the lab, we realize that the gate is locked. We try to get in, but our attempts do not work until the Indigo Disk was recognized by the machine. We insert the disc, head inside, and go straight for the elevator. We are able to go past what was presumed to be the Zero Lab's final stop and into a new part of Area 0. We start exploring and run into a peculiar Glamora. It has a brand new Terra type. Here, we are introduced to the Stellar type. From my knowledge, it seems that the Stellar type does not change the actual type of the Pokemon, as they share their original weaknesses. yet it boosts the first move of every unique move type. The game stops us with a barrier a few times, and we are tasked with taking out Stellar Terra Pokemon. But after all that, we enter the final chamber, which holds the legendary Pokemon we are after. Kieran sees an odd crystal stuck in the large crystal and yanks it out. That crystal transforms into Terapagos. It sees us and started to approach us, but Kieran remembers everything that happened with Ogerpon and decides to pull out a Master Ball and catch it for himself. And of course, the Master Ball catches Terapagos. Kieran wants to fight us again, now that he has a legendary Pokemon, and we honestly destroy his transformed Terapagos. He kinda starts freaking out until Briar suggests terrestrializing Terapagos, which was a horrible idea, because Terapagos fully awakened. Terapagos tried to attack Kieran, but of course, my Koraidon jumped out of its Pokeball to take the attack. But then, Kieran tried to recall Terapagos into the Master Ball, but it breaks. Now it is time to fight fully awakened Terapagos. This battle was kinda simple. You just keep fighting until you're able to terrestrialize like I did. Once you do that, we could do a Terra boosted attack, but when you do that, Terapagos will drain your Terra power. We find out that Terapagos can only do this a number of times, so we just keep trying to get this to happen. Eventually, near the end of the battle, Kieran decided to abandon his old villain arc and help us take Terapagos down. Once it is vulnerable and we take it out, we are prompted to catch it, and even Kieran tells us to do it. I decided to throw a Moonball. I don't know, it kind of looked cool. Once we capture Terapagos, it is time to head back to the Blueberry Academy, where Kieran stops us and asks us if we can be friends again. I don't really care for the little loser, but the game makes the decision for me. And as the sun sets, so does this chapter of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Or does it?